chances of an asteroid hitting are pretty small. NASA has tracked 90% of the near-Earth asteroids that are at least a half-mile wide and believes none of them has a significant chance of hitting Earth. Still, there could be some big unknown asteroids out there. If a mile-wide asteroid hit Earth, it would strike the planet's surface at about 30,000 miles per hour. An asteroid that big traveling at that speed has the energy roughly equal to a 1 million megaton bomb. It's very likely that an asteroid like this would wipe out most of life on the planet. It's difficult to imagine 1 million megatons, so let's try some smaller sizes. Let's say that an asteroid the size of a house crashed on Earth at 30,000 miles per hour. It would have an amount of energy roughly equal to the bomb that fell on Hiroshima, perhaps 20 kilotons. An asteroid like this would flatten reinforced concrete buildings up to half a mile from ground zero, and flatten wooden structures perhaps a mile and a half from ground zero. It would, in other words, do extensive damage to any city. If the asteroid is as big as a 20-story building, 200 feet on a side, it has an amount of energy equal to the largest nuclear bombs made today, on the order of 25 to 50 megatons. An asteroid like this would flatten reinforced concrete buildings 5 miles from ground zero. It would completely destroy most major cities in the United States. By the time you get up to a mile-wide asteroid, you are working in the 1 million megaton range. This asteroid has the energy that's 10 million times greater than the bomb that fell on Hiroshima. It's able to flatten everything for 100 to 200 miles out from ground zero. In other words, if a mile-wide asteroid were to directly hit New York City, the force of the impact probably would completely flatten every single thing from Washington, D.C. to Boston, and would cause extensive damage perhaps 1,000 miles out. That's as far away as Chicago. The amount of dust and debris thrown up into the atmosphere would block out the sun and cause most living things on the planet to perish. If an asteroid that big were to land in the ocean, it would cause massive tidal waves hundreds of feet high that would completely scrub the coastlines in the vicinity. In other words, if an asteroid strikes Earth, it will be a really, really bad day no matter how big it is. If the asteroid is a mile in diameter, it's likely to wipe out life on the planet. But let's talk about some countermeasures that would help us. Given the details of the hypothetical scenario, humans would need to slow down the asteroid more to save themselves, than if they tried to speed it up instead. They aren't sure of the asteroid's mass yet, but its size, on the scale of 850 by 460 feet suggests humans would need 3 separate stumbling blocks, and would likely want to send 6 in case of glitches. Those spacecraft would need to launch around 2023 in order for Earth to emerge unscathed. And remember, in this scenario, that's just a year and a half away, and before scientists know the precise details of the object. Another cause for concern, if engineers go overboard on such devices, they could accidentally break the hypothetical asteroid into pieces, making Earth's risk much more difficult to understand. There's a second type of mitigation mission, detonating a nuclear explosion above the surface of the asteroid, causing part of its surface to vaporize and the remainder of the space rock to recoil. This approach is also more adaptable to the many questions scientists still have about the hypothetical asteroid, like its mass and structure. The effect of a specific explosive device can be tuned, so to speak. Detonate closer to the asteroid and the blast is stronger, detonate farther away and the effect is more gentle. But what if the best option was to nuke the asteroid? If we decided to nuke the asteroid, then it would probably take a 3-megaton nuclear bomb to obliterate a 650-foot wide stony asteroid. And any nuke's destructive power would be increased by exploding it inside a crater or cavity within the space rock. For perspective, the atomic bombs that the United States dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II had explosive yields of about 15 kilotons and 20 kilotons, respectively. 1 megaton is equivalent to 1,000 kilotons. The most powerful nuclear weapon ever built, the Soviet Union's Tsar Bomba hydrogen bomb, had a yield of about 50 megatons. The USSR detonated the Tsar bomber device on October 30, 1961, over the Novaya Zemlya island chain in the Arctic. If a very large asteroid was detected and headed straight for Earth, then our only option for survival would be to nuke and destroy it. If you liked the video, please subscribe for more what-if scenarios. Please subscribe.